What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and with the new Blizzard World update coming in now less than a week, it's time to get super excited about all the possible new content that we could be getting. And given that it's already been confirmed that some of the new hero skins will in fact be crossovers from other Blizzard games, I thought it would be a good idea to take a look at some other potential crossover skins which maybe just haven't been revealed yet. There are a lot of cool possibilities across Diablo, World of Warcraft, and StarCraft, so I decided to make a list of some of the ones that I think would work the best. I will mention though that I'm not nearly as familiar with any of these other IPs as I am with Overwatch, so a lot of these ideas came as a courtesy of my commenters on previous videos. So there's a decent chance that I might mispronounce a name or maybe get some sort of trivial fact wrong, and I do apologize if I end up doing that. And also real quick, I just want to say that if you're new to my channel, then I would really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications. It really helps me out, and it's a great way to make sure that you never miss out on a future Overwatch update. Anyways, let's get to those skin ideas. So first up, let's take a look at possible crossovers with Diablo. Personally, I think Diablo might have some of the best potential crossovers. Of course, we already have the Butcher Roadhog and Barbarian Zarya skins, but another possible skin we could be getting is Demon Hunter Tracer. Given the Demon Hunter's dual crossbows, they match up pretty well with Tracer's dual pistols. I could easily see Blizzard giving Tracer some sort of cloak or hood like this to make her look very much so like the Demon Hunter. Moving on though, we also have Wizard Moira. Given that Moira's spheres and ability to sap life and give it back is basically magic when you think about it, I think there's a lot of cool visual things they could do to make a skin for Moira that would make her look like a wizard. Now, getting into some more specific characters from Diablo, one of the ideas which I've had tons of people suggest is Auriel Mercy. I mean, come on, they're both light side angels. All you gotta do is give Mercy a hood and she would work pretty well. And of course, if you're gonna have Auriel Mercy, then you're gonna need to have Malthael Reaper. I mean, honestly, these two characters look basically the same anyway, so they wouldn't even have to change the skin that much. Maybe there would even be the issue of Malthael Reaper looking too similar to normal Reaper that they couldn't even do it. I don't know, I still think it would be a pretty cool crossover, and again, it was one that I got a lot of people suggesting. And the last crossover skin I have for the Diablo category is King Leoric Reinhardt. The spooky, scary Skeleton King even has an axe that would work perfect with Reinhardt's hammer. Both compose a very kingly broad stature, and a skeleton Reinhardt, I could see that working pretty well. However, before I move on to the next category, there actually has been an artist who did some crossover skin concepts long before Blizzard ever even announced the ones that we already have seen. So here's an image of their artwork for Diablo crossovers, and as you can see, they got the Butcher Roadhog and Barbarian Zarya, as well as some other ones which undoubtedly would work so well. Of course, I'll have a link to this person's DeviantArt page down in the description. Moving on now to World of Warcraft, the two skins for this category which we already have confirmed, of course, are the Blackhand Doomfist and Bronzebeard Torbjorn. And when it really comes to it, there are tons and tons of possible crossovers. Warcraft has so many different characters that I couldn't even begin to start delving into all of them. However, a few which stood out to me that would work pretty well in my opinion include Uther the Lightbringer Reinhardt. Again, this might be a situation where the two characters are already just so similar that they couldn't make a new skin. They're basically both paladins, they have the big hammer and the bulky armor. For Reinhardt to get a skin like this, it would almost just be a recolor. But of course, the comparison is so great that I had to mention it. The next skin idea is Bolvar Fordragon Genji. Now I will say, I had to do research about this character because as I said, I'm not too familiar with the Warcraft lore. So the crossover skin that I think would work best would be after he was tortured and basically killed by, I believe, the Lich King. I know that you guys will tear into me if I'm getting that wrong, but just from the artwork that I've been able to find portraying this character, he basically looks like Genji after he almost died. Given how we see Genji in skins such as his Blackwatch one, they again already have a pretty distinct visual similarity. Bolvar might not necessarily be a ninja from what I understand, but it would still be a pretty cool crossover. Now, unfortunately, this is pretty much where I'm gonna stop with the Warcraft crossovers. As I said, there are just so many. I mean, you could do things like Night Elf Hanzo, or Goblin Junkrat. But of course, before I wrap up, I will be showing off the artwork, once again made by the same artist, portraying concepts for some of these crossover skins. Of course, the Ironforge Torbjorn is basically what we're already going to be getting, but then they also gave ideas such as Dragonflight Pharah, which I thought was a pretty cool one, Firelord Reinhardt, which would be very intimidating to see charging at you, Goblin Sapper Junkrat, and Pandaren Mage. The puns never stop, do they? And finally, moving on to the last category I'm going to talk about, we have StarCraft. These skins, I think, would be some of the coolest, and that's mainly just because I'm a huge sci-fi fan. But given that Overwatch itself is already pretty sci-fi, a lot of these would work really well. Of course, the ones we've already have confirmed would be Nova Widowmaker and Immortal Orisa, but some other great ones would be Terran Marine Soldier 76. Being perhaps one of the most iconic Terran units in the game, Soldier 76 would fit right into that category. He might not necessarily have the bulky armor worn by the Marines, but I'm sure that Blizzard could come up with some cool crossover that would still make him fit into his normal silhouette that you see in Overwatch. And next up is a skin crossover that is so perfect that I would be amazed if we never see this at any point in the future, which is Thor / Firebat / Goliath / basically any of Terran's mechs, D.Va. Given D.Va's backstory and its associations with StarCraft, giving her some kind of Terran mech or vehicle style crossover would fit just way too well. Again, maybe this would be a situation where they're literally just so similar already that they couldn't even make a new skin with looking unique enough. But as I said, there are just so many different possibilities that I'm sure they could come up with something awesome for her. Continuing to stick with the Terran units, we have Reaper Pharah. While I don't believe the Reapers possess rocket launchers, the jetpacks themselves have a striking similarity. I gotta wonder if Pharah was in some way inspired by this design. Regardless, it's yet another cool crossover that would work really, really well. And then we have High Templar / pretty much any kind of Protoss, Zenyatta. Given his ability to magically levitate, which, when you really think about it, how does that work? Anyways, it definitely gives him the appearance of having psionic abilities, which would, of course, match up perfectly with the Protoss faction. Again, I'm not too knowledgeable about the specific characters within the Protoss faction, so I'm not sure if there's someone in particular who would best match up, but I think in general, just saying a Protoss unit would be a pretty good skin comparison. And of course, we have more artwork from the same artist showing off basically the skins I suggested, as well as Ghost Widowmaker, but of course we know that we're going to be getting Nova Widowmaker, which honestly is even cooler. As I talked about in my video yesterday, it looks like there's going to be a number of skins we're getting that won't be Blizzard crossovers, and in fact Jeff Kaplan himself confirmed that the majority of the new content won't be crossover skins. So maybe we won't actually be getting any of these next Tuesday, but I certainly hope we see at least some of them at some point in the future. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to leave any ideas you have that I didn't talk about in this video down in the comments below, along with all your insults about how I mispronounce people's names. Hopefully my Blizzard Universe incompetence didn't make this video too unbearable. So if not, be sure to hit that like button, and I appreciate if you subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and turn on notifications to both help out my channel and keep up with all my future Overwatch content. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.